Hello and welcome to Ski Talk. I'm Steve, your host and ski buyer here at skis.com. They also call me the Ski-EO. And I'm joined today by our Dalbello representative, Ray Skelton. Hi, Ray.
Hey, Steve.
And Ray's been with Dalbello a long time, a couple of decades, right?
Since 1993 when it started in the U.S.
So you probably know a little bit about these boots?
A little bit.
Okay, so this boot is called the Voodoo. So does it come with the pins you can kind of stick in so that your enemy kind of feels the pain?
Absolutely. you use them on your competitors. Not
All right. So that's what the Voodoo name kind of implies, but I think it's really more of a ski boot. So this is a free ride ski boot, right?
Right.
For
freestyle free ride.
Yeah, for that customer that wants to do a little jumping, park and pipe, stuff like that.
Right.
All right. So first thing we can notice on this boot is it's got 3 buckles as opposed to 4. Can you kind of explain the benefits to that?
Well, this is a 3-buckle boot, which also is part of being a 3-piece shell.
Okay.
And the key thing is with a 3-piece shell, you have a lower shell, you have the rear cuff, and then you have a tongue. And the tongue flexes and works independently of the shell. But the key feature and part of the 3 buckle is that when you have a 3-piece shell with a low hinge point, way down here, with a low hinge point, what we can do is allow the rear cuff to flex freely, which is great for freestyle skiing. It's also great for absorbing shock. A lot of guys say, "Why, Ray, why do you want a 3-piece shell in these freestyle boots?" And the reason being is that with the low hinge point, it allows the boot, you can imagine jumping off a cliff, dropping into a pipe or whatever else. When that boot hits, you get an impact. And with a 3-piece shell, you get shock absorption. The other thing is that by having that 3-piece shell, you also have the low hinge point, and we have a wrapping buckle here, and that center wrap buckle allows really good heel hold down.
Really pulls the heel down in rather than pushing down.
On a conventional shell, a two-piece shell, 4-buckle boot, 2 buckles up here, 2 buckles down here, nothing really drives you into the heel the way that this buckle does.
Sure. Now there's an adjustment on the back that says soft hard.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Basically on this boot, we're going to have kids that could be anywhere, or skiers that are anywhere from 130 pounds, possibly 250 pounds. So you have flex adjustments, so I can make the boot stiffer.
So they call this flex in this really a 90, but in reality, what would you say the range is?
It ranges between about 80 and 95.
Okay.
It's still built for a lighter, all-around skier.
It's got a nice furry liner, I like.
Right. We wanted to give this guy some good features. So what the Voodoo was originally built for was the guy that wanted to have Tanner Hall's boot. And I don't know if you all know Tanner Hall, but when he's jumping off cliffs or this or that, there's a tremendous amount of impact. Tanner actually skis a very aggressive boot in terms of stiffness. But you have that junior high school or high school age boy that's 150 pounds, and he needs a boot that's going to absorb shock. So we made a softer flexing boot in this model.
Now you've also got a absorption boot board in here as well.
Right. There's a full rubber shock pad under the heel.
Inside of the heel here.
And then we stick it right out through this hole so you can actually feel the rubber and see the rubber.
All right. So did we miss any features on the boot? I think there's
2 other things that I would point out in the boot. One, it also has a rubber shock pad behind the boot, so when you're hitting and maybe your body gets thrown backwards, it helps give you a little more shock against your calf. And one of the unique things, and you can't see it because it's black on black here, but there's a wide Hyperband buckle.
Yeah, it's like about 3.5, 4 inches.
Right, versus having a power strap and a buckle. And the reason we do that in this boot is this guy might be skiing the park and he wants more leg movement at the top of the boot. So you'll ski this softer. Then he goes up to ski the rest of the mountain with his buddies at ripping high speeds, and you buckle that back up and you have a quick adjustment. So that's one of the reasons for the Hyperband. Okay,
so describe for us the ideal customer for the Voodoo boot.
This is for the lighter freestyle skier that's looking for full performance freestyle, but not a super stiff boot. Otherwise it has everything geared for the guy that's park, pipe, riding rails, skiing all mountain bumps and things like that. It's been an awesome fitting boot. And the other thing that's key with this boot is it's 103 millimeter last, so it also gives the guy a wider fit. Maybe that guy was looking at a Rampage from us or one of our other freestyle boots, and they're 98 millimeter last, and this kid's got that bigger, wider foot also.
Okay, great. So there you have it. It's a great boot from Dalbello. It's called the Voodoo. I'm Steve, this is Ray, and thanks for joining us on Ski Talk.
Thanks.
Good.